A big reason why I do the movie reviews is because I hope you trust my opinion. And when I give it like a high rating to a movie, you're like, okay, I may go out of my way to see that. Also, if you sit here and watch a 5, 10, 15-minute movie review that I do and I say this movie has a low rating, you really shouldn't watch it, then maybe I could save you the time. Because here's the thing when it comes to movie reviews. I generally watch the movie twice before I do a movie review. I watched this movie twice. Save yourself the trouble. It's You Can't Win, a 2026 movie I watched for free on Tubi, and it came out this year. That should tell you something. So basically, it's a movie about hobos, or what we used to call homeward bounds, people who are transient. This happened at the advent of the railroad era in America during the late 19th century. And it follows, like, if you're interested in crime of the late 19th century and how it went, and not so much the cowboy crime, because if you're doing a movie in the late 19th century about crime, it's usually guys on horses running around, robbing banks and so forth, and running from the law. There's that accent again. But it's not like that. This movie is about hobos, drifters, thieves, burglars, and so forth. It's fair jumping, jumping on trains and so forth, and riding for free, which people still do today. But it's that beginning of that kind of crime in the United States when the railways started popping up over the United States. Okay, so like I said, it's all about prowlers and thieves. Opiates are a big part of it, and because there's also a lot of Chinese characters, including Lo Pan is in this movie. Is that guy actually Lo Pan? Because he's still alive. What's his name? James Wong or something? And but opiates were used in that era as well as this era to control people, to make people easier to rob or ply in some ways. And so the opium crisis, which has been coming from China for a long time, has been a problem for a very, very long time. It's like, I think that's interesting. What I don't like is a bunch of, like, there's a skipping around in time. You get like this older version of Jack Black. It's based upon a best-selling book a century ago by a guy named Jack Black. So it's not the same Jack Black that likes all the seal videos, animal videos on Instagram. Whenever he likes something, it pops up in my, why am I interested in what Jack Black likes anyway? And so it skips around a time. There's a lot of pointless scenes. You're just like, we could have edit that one out, It's basically about this drunk, junkie criminal going crazy by the end of the story, and and it just skips around, and you're like, oh, there's this cute chick. Her name's Annie. And it's like, oh, he's feeding her food, making her feel better. Okay, she's starting to look better. Okay, they're smoking opium together. And then she's gone. Where the hell did she go? Then all of a sudden he's talking to this other girl, and you're like, oh, it's the really hot chick from Ozark. And you're like, oh, great. I hope she's going to be in the movie for more than one scene. Nope. You're like, what the hell is going on in this movie? All right, it's incredibly dark. All right, I had to turn down the lights in my room to watch it. Incredibly dark film, and it's a lot of prowling around and like almost getting caught, kind of getting caught. Someone Smiler got caught. We all know Smiler. You can come hang out with us. We like Smiler. You like Smiler. But too bad he's dead, because he was a thief. You guys are thieves and junkies, opiates, chloroform people, nitroglycerin people, and you're talking about like a crime of that era and the kind of people who did it, just as like similar to today. And I wanted to like this movie. I find the topic interesting, except the movie's incredibly dark. There's very long periods of silence. There's pointless scenes. There's jumping around in time for no discernible reason. You don't need to do that. The dialogue is pretty poetic, fairly poetic. I like the dialogue. They probably pulled it straight from the book because that's how people spoke in that era, and I thought that was incredibly interesting. However, the point of the book/movie is this guy, Jack Black, whining about all the beatings he took for being a criminal and stuff like this. You know, kids shouldn't be beaten and tortured. And it's like, okay, fair enough, Amnesty International. Fair enough. But I watched this movie, You Can't Win, 2026, 4 of 13 stars. I watched this movie about a best-selling book from a century ago. What little dialogue there is great. But like I said, you can have poetic dialogue and then, which is way better, by the way, than long periods of silence. And there's reading. There's reading in the front, there's reading at the back. And if you like Cinema Sins, ding, reading. I'm not here to read. Show me a movie. It's like, okay, you're showing me a movie, but there's a long period of silence. Where'd that chick go? Where'd that chick go? Why is this teenager walking along this road? All of a sudden he's grown up and in the train. What the hell is going on in this movie? And now, after watching this movie, I somehow care less about criminals being beaten and tortured for information because of this movie. If you're like stealing stuff, the stuff that these people are stealing, like Smiler got killed trying to break into somebody's house in the beginning of the movie. He was the guy from, The Bear? And you just happen to be one of the ones who lived. And you wrote a book about it. Fantastic. But somehow I don't care because of the horrible things you do. You know, if criminals these days caught beatings from prison guards, they'd be much less likely to want to go to prison. Just putting that out there. Sorry, Amnesty International.
The madman loves you all, from the big to the small.